Meanwhile, back home, people are waking up to the routine violence of left-wing activists at protests. You've seen it a lot in the past couple of weeks. In the name of stopping fascism, agitators are showing up at rallies and quickly getting violent. This past weekend, even the Washington Post was forced, against its will, no question, to admit that violence in Berkeley, California was the work of masked left-wingers. Journalist Tim Pool recently attended one of these rallies and quickly became the target of threats. Watch.
Out! Go! Out!
Bye.
Me?
Out! Bye.
Out! Why? Get out of here. Seriously. Get the out of here. They live like their politics. I am not. Phone? Huh?
Do you believe what they say, though? You really believe them?
Do what?
Well, by the same token, that's naive.
Why would I? I'm not a tough guy. I'm a journalist.
I'm not making a joke out of it. This is my life.
Going on. Get anything that has ever happened or ever existed.
Tim Pool, the man being barked at in that video, joins us, as does former Berkeley radical Donna Carol Voss. Thanks to you both for joining us. First to you, Tim. I watched that whole video yesterday. It's really, really menacing. But it raises the question I've had since the beginning, which is, who are these people? The masked people, the Black Bloc, Antifa, however you're pronouncing it. Where do they come from? Is this a full-time gig? And what do they believe?
It tends to be a mix of people. Predominantly, I found that they're communists. There's a lot of socialists involved and some anarchists. But typically, I think when you see the violence, the people who are willing to be more violent tend to be communists. That's more of a, I guess, structured ideology, whereas the anarchists are kind of a little loose and don't believe in the authority. But that video is not even the worst. You know, that's just one of the most recent. This guy didn't even touch me. But I've been physically attacked by people associated with the far left and Antifa in the past. And this is, like I said, just one of the more recent instances where they've confronted me for seemingly no reason. I mean, this guy doesn't know me. He doesn't know what I'm doing. I was just walking by in Boston with a camera, and immediately I got bombarded by a group of people with masks on just yelling at me.
Right. If you're looking for the face of hate, it's that right there. But by the way, there have been a bunch of mugshots of these guys after getting arrested, and without the face coverings, they're mostly young, middle-class white kids. Not a very diverse group, interestingly enough. So, Donna, you were a campus radical some time ago in Berkeley, a part of an earlier generation. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the generation you belong to had strong political views, ones I disagree with, but at its core, there was a belief in free speech, wasn't there?
Absolutely. That's Berkeley. That's free speech.
Well, that's gone. And not only is it gone, I don't hear anybody mourning its passing. I don't hear, I mean, presumably a lot of mainstream liberals still believe in free speech. It was, you know, one of the pillars of their movement, of what they believe, but I don't hear them standing up to demand the right of others they disagree with to have their say. Why?
No, I should have said that was Berkeley. It's ironic that it was Berkeley for free speech, and now it's where, you know, ground central is for eliminating, crushing free speech. Every protest now is being crushed. Doesn't matter who it is or what it is.
Well, it's really, really noticeable. Tim, what do they want? What does this group want?
Unfortunately, I mean, it's not one group of people. It's just, it tends to be a fractured group of people who share enough of their ideologies that they're willing to get violent to do it. Often I find that many of them truly believe they're fighting a revolution against, you know, the empire of the United States. And I will say that some of these people have legitimate grievances, but as soon as they decide to get violent to push those ideas, they discredit themselves. But, you know, unfortunately, I don't think there's a unified cause behind them. Many of the people that we're seeing today associated with Antifa were just anti-capitalist protesters 4 years ago. Say at Occupy Wall Street, they would chant anticapitalista. Today, they chant antifascista. So it's hard to pin down exactly what, you know, as a single group or as a single ideology, what they're trying to do is, because it tends to change with the trend.
Well, that's kind of the point I'm making. We were forever trying to book some of these people because I'm sincerely interested in what they're after. But Donna, I mean, if you look back at the protest movements of 50 years ago, almost all of them had a specific goal, either, you know, a civil rights bill, end the Vietnam War, end to segregated accommodations. I don't think I understand what the goal of this group is other than burning everything down. Do you?
That's the goal. They have no driving philosophy. They are just all about anarchy. And if there's even a couple of anarchists in there, anarchists, it makes the whole group anarchist. That's all they want, I think, is anarchy. That's why they fight against free speech in Boston or against anti-racism in Berkeley. It doesn't matter what. If people are out there expressing themselves, Antifa's there to shut them down.
Yeah, well, it's obviously a fight against civilization itself, and we should all join in fighting back, I think, because that's threatening. Tim, Donna, thank you.
Thank you.